What's up YouTube, Mr. here, and today we're going to do another Warlock guided playthrough. This will be the Cleave guided playthrough, so we're going to be going down the Eldritch Tree this time. There was some debate with Echoing Strike, but I feel like Echoing Strike is going to get changed some, so it feels like that would be a very short-lived guided playthrough, whereas I think Cleave is probably pretty set. So let's dive in. Let's see how much cleavage we can get today. Now, to start out, of course, you can always, we'll talk about the stats really fast. 15, 20, 25, 20, so nice tank ability there. Decent dexterity for start. And then he gained 3 life per vitality point right now, so that's really helpful for tanking. So we'll focus there. Additionally, Levitation Mastery does have minus weapon requirements, so you know, that'll help a tiny bit as we play, but we're not going to have tons of plus skills, so it won't do too much, but we can probably take a little bit off of some weapon requirements, and that helps getting maybe some like cool two-handers or something. Now, one thing to note, we will go to players 8. You can always type
Moo.
Let me see if it shows. You can always type /players space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to increase the simulated number of players in the game. This is, of course, for offline, and it will make the game more difficult, but you get more experience as well. So mobs gain more life and all of that, but then, you know, you get more. So you can see that is the amount of experience I get for killing on, you know, players 1. And here on players 8, you're seeing how much experience I'm getting for killing a little fallen. So it just helps speed you up. If you're online, this would be as if there's other players in the game, so obviously you're not going to have that option. We're just using the standard Miasma Bolt we get right now for our initial levels, and then we'll switch over. We'll go ahead and put a point into Levitation Mastery. We'll leave a TP right there. And if you want, we could also stab with our dagger if you want to be like, this is just a stab build. So we can stab away. You'll notice I'm generally avoiding zombies. It's actually not too bad if you're going to use the Miasma Bolt, especially with the skill shrine. It's going to do an okay enough amount of damage. But a lot of times they can just be a little bit tanky, so a little bit annoying. But basically we just want to level up to like level 3 out in the Blood Moor. And then we can keep going from there. Thank you, Skate Action, by the way. We also have another skill point, and I'm going to go ahead and put 1 point into Hex Bane right now. Hex Bane could actually be kind of decent for us here. I'm kind of curious, and we may take a second here and look around and kind of plan out our build slightly, you know. Now, one thing to note about any melee build is that leveling is a little bit more important than if I'm playing a caster build. Because with caster builds, everything always hits, but with melee builds, you need to be able to hit. And attack rating is part of that calculation, but so is your level versus the monster's level. So this can be pretty important overall. I kind of want to go after the scepter. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So we'll go ahead and go to 25 strength and put the scepter on. Scepters are just really high damage early in the game. Before we go in the den, we'll go down to players 1. So this just gets us a really nice damage amount. And they still have a decent attack speed as well. And then our Hex Bane adds a little bit of magic damage, reduces enemy defenses. It's decent overall. So I think the first, you know, couple of points are pretty set. We're just going 1 and 1. And then we're getting, you know, strength to 25. So we can use this scepter. If you did go vitality, like, it's okay. I know that's a standard that you always just are going to think of is like, I'm just going to go into vitality. Also, one thing you'll note, I am hexing these guys like that. That is happening no matter what. So if you basically swing and miss, not when they're running away miss, but where you would have connected, but they like, you know, your attack rating was high enough, whatever. Then they will get hexed right there. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna... You're just killing me, card guy. I've told you a million times. Just go to another channel, please. With your conspiracies. Okay. Continuing on. It's just every day. He doesn't listen, you know. So we do want to get a 2 open socket armor so we can get a stealth potentially later on. You also don't have to. I mean, it is nice to have the faster run walk, but we do not need FCR, so there are better armors for this build. If we got a Twitch throw or something, that could always be really nice. Or just like, hey, a sweet rare with some extra bonuses on it. But I like faster run walk, so stealth is something that I will consider. We have another skill point. We'll go ahead and just hold on that because we're going to want to sit down and talk about mapping out this build a little bit. We also, of course, do have the ability to respec once we complete the den. So that is also something that we can like do a little bit later. Also, we're doing enough damage. We totally could have just gone players 8 in here, or even, you know, players 3 or players 5. Generally, if you're like one-shotting everything, then your thought can be, okay, well, I can increase the player count. Don't really want to shield. Blocking is generally annoying for the very, very early game. Oh, yeah, we definitely could have. Definitely could have done like P8 or something. That's okay. We'll just level up a little bit more in the Cold Plains. But blocking is nice. Just sometimes early on, especially, it takes frames that are, you know, annoying. 5 to fire res is nice on the boots. 1 to dexterity is also totally okay. So we'll take that. And we'll clean out the Den of Evil. If you don't have a scroll of Town Portal, you can just leave and rejoin.
Good day.
Nice and simple. Didn't really find much gold down there. Not that we super need gold right now. I mostly just want to get some stamina potions, and I'm pretty happy. Okay, so let's take a look. At this point, I definitely want to go more vitality. We could look at some dexterity in the future, but vitality is really nice here. And let's take a look at where we want to go. We want to go into Cleave. Cleave's bonuses come from Mirrored Blades, Hex Purge, and Eldritch Blast. So we will be wanting to put points into Hex Purge later on. That may be a respec target for us. Eldritch Blast and Mirrored Blades are, of course, very far down the tree, so we're not going to get those until much later on. Demons are good. Like a summoned Goatman to fight next to us would actually be not terrible right now, because he would just be like helpful in keeping some of the mobs off of us. So I think that is also a consideration, that we could have like a goat join us for a little bit for the next, you know, X amount of time. And we're not really going to do anything here, except we may consider Sigil Lethargy at level 6. just to slow some mobs down. This could be especially useful for some bosses, so we can like have that for fighting. So we could save a point for there. Putting points here is some slight increase in damage in the physical and all that. Putting points here will add to our magic damage, which would also be nice. It's tough. It really feels like you could go... The thoughts are really go for a goat, get Hexbane, or put Levitation Mastery. I think I'm going to go for Levitation Mastery on this playthrough. But I don't think it is the only option. We'll also go up to players 8. I think there are... All of those options are good options, honestly. Now, the goat will eventually kind of run out. The idea is definitely you're going to respec out of the goat later on. So it's just like a temporary thing. But... And now we're level 5. And at level 5, we could consider holding back a point. So then at level 6, we can get Sigil and Cleave. And I think that's not a bad idea. So let's go ahead and hold this point right here. And we can continue forward. Now, I would love to find the waypoint in the Stony field. One of the main reasons, like I talked about before, is it is very valuable to... Ooh, strangling, yes. Very valuable to have some extra levels, and Rakinishu is just a good farm, like overall. But one thing I haven't really talked about, but I'll talk about here, is we really, really, really want to focus on these bosses. Look, this is Bloodburn, and he's got teleportation, and yada, yada, yada. He's going to be worth a good amount of experience, and so are all of his minions. So you can see under their name tag, they say minion. That just means they give 500% experience, and there are a few extra levels. So it's very useful to have. We'll also go ahead and drink some potions. We've got our level 6, so we'll go Cleave, and we'll go Lethargy. And we can put Cleave right here. DX. And now we can use this. And we'll go Vitality with all of our points there. And help slow down Rakinishu. Oops. Now, something like the large axe does have some, like, potential to it. We can talk about that again in a second. Now, you'll notice we don't have a full 360-degree arc right now. That's just how it be. See if we can find this waypoint, and of course we can also just force going and finding the waypoint, right? If super desired. But yeah, more skill points in Cleave will increase the size of the Cleave. So we will continue to add points to Cleave now. And there's our waypoint. And we can quit and come back in. Now, one thing you'll note is that Cleave frames are slow. This is just something that you're gonna feel and notice. That is a little bit nicer. It's 33 strength, though, for probably not quite enough of a boost. If you want to run it, you totally can. Wow, 3 to Inferno. But I think not quite enough of a boost right there. 1 to energy, sure. I have nothing else in that slot. And we'll just put stuff over here. So it does have some bad frames. We can also put gas potions on our offhand just for throwing. Gas potions are just really nice. Straight up. Yeah, so we will want... That dagger was good, yeah. So you can see like, hey, we can gas... Just at level 6, level 7, like, gas potions are just really valuable. They can do a lot of damage early on. We'll go more vitality. And we will go get Rakinishu. We can check the shrine. Nope, that's a well. Okay. Put on our sigil. We also would love a skull cap with 2 sockets. Just a good place again to put things.
What I would give to know how these stones came to be.
But just a nice way to easily pick up. Ooh, a rare skull cap also does sound nice. To pick up some points. And again, do this essentially as much as you want. You can take this. Let's see what we got. 15 attack rating, 5 light radius. That's only 1 socket. I will take it. You can do this as much as you would like. Make sure that you use your hex every time you come back in. You can level on Rakinishu to level 14. Honestly, pretty well. So, 3 towels could be decent on this build. Malice could be decent on this build. I do think I like Steel because Steel has IAS, and one thing that you guys are seeing here is that attack speed really is mattering for Cleave. It's just kind of a tough part with it.
How these stones came to be.
Good day.
Also, so there we go. We have a 2 open socket Scimitar. That is pretty good for Steel, actually, as it's very fast. And 2 to 9. It is faster. We can see how we feel about it. Let's go ahead and put it on and see how it attacks. We'll also go ahead and add more points to Cleave, which does increase our attack speed slightly, and more points to Vitality. It's definitely faster. So a little bit less damage, but total DPS maybe a little higher, or similar, but feels a little bit better. It's Scimitar. There's no C. Yeah.
Moo.
Good day.
So we'll trash that and keep going. No, thank you. Unfortunately, we have not gotten any, what do you call it? Experience shrines here. So, slows it down a tiny bit, but that's okay. We'll hit level 10 and we'll move forward. 10 is good enough for me. There's also a super chest in here, so we could have been picking up that along the way if we wanted to. Nice and simple.
How these stones came to be.
Another skull cap. Cool. Okay, let's move on. I mean, so far, you know, there's been a few. I think magic and fire are the easiest builds for leveling up. Of course, caster builds are just stronger. Put another point into Cleave here. Now, 12 is a really nice kind of like, I don't want to say breakpoint for the build because breakpoint's not the right word. But at level 12, we get Hex Purge, which is a nice boost overall. Milestone, thank you, that's a better word. Go Vitality. Heal up a tiny bit. So that's also another reason to spend a little time and go for that there. We'll go more vitality. And I don't think there's anything else at 12 I really care about. So I'm just going to put that point into Cleave right now. Now, Hexbane could also be really nice instead of points into like Levitation Mastery there, because Hexbane does add damage to Hex Purge. So I could see that also being solid. But we're just going to kind of keep rolling, doing what we do. This is players 8. This is players 8. So again, you could be on players 1 and it will be much easier, you know, fighting like those archers and stuff, but it's also going to just take longer to level up. Go ahead and throw some poison gas potions again. Poison gas potions are just really nice.
Hit recovery potency for spell damage be a reasonable way to balance melee versus caster?
It would definitely slow down some caster builds. Like, one big thing about casters is they can really take advantage of monster hit recovery from spells, so that would nerf them a decent amount. We have a decent number of rares to go identify. So in the Black Marsh, we can look for the Waypoint. Thanks Hobby, thanks Neto, thanks Scruffy and Rust.
You said that Sunders were too common, but now some I feel like we've gone in the opposite direction and made it too difficult. What do you think?
I feel like, one, Sunders were way too common before. They were annoying. Literally, they were annoying to drop. When something is annoying to drop, that's a unique Grand Charm. You've gone too far. Now we've gone really far in the other direction. I think, okay, we're also going to get Hex Purge, and we will put Hex Purge on our weapon now. I think it has definitely gone a little too far in the wrong direction with it, but I also feel like I dropped one of them, and it was like a rush, you know? It was really cool. And it is super powerful when you think about it. Like, Sunder Charms make your character able to break immunities. So I kind of like having them as a rare thing. Does it nerf some of the like early build diversity? Probably a little bit, yes. Does it create, like, when you think about the power of being able to break all immunities in the game, I think maybe that's okay, actually, to have that be a little hidden behind that, you know? Ooh, 7 to 9's pretty nice, actually. It is going to be a little bit slower, but I think I'll make that swap. 15 to attack rating. This is pretty much the same helm. Doesn't really matter. A little bit more mana for this one, so I'll take that. Ooh, chance to cast amp damage on striking. Okay, we're gonna go for the amp damage. And adds 1 to 5 lightning damage. We'll go ahead and do that. And that's fine there as well. We'll sell these, put that there. And go. Yeah, the concern is definitely, casual players. Let me grab that out. Getting a little stuck. So that is the concern, is like it does stick them a little bit. But at the same time, we've played without, Sunder Charms for a majority of our Diablo 2 life, and people made it work. And people played, a variety of builds still. So,
Oh, fresh blood smells far sweeter than this.
Move.
but people will still have Sunders because they're, unless you're like single players, the only really tough part. Because you can always port over. Somebody will go farm in Diablo 2 Resurrected old Sunders and then convert their character over and bring them over into the new ladder. So they will exist in the new ladder, don't worry. But yeah, I think they could increase a little bit. And it would be good. Like, make them drop a little bit more, because it is pretty harsh. But even if you increase them just a little bit, it'd still be exciting. You're alone in how much you despise immunes? You're not alone. A lot of people despise immunities, but they're kind of a necessary evil in a way. Like, and we'll take a look here before we put this level 13 point in. By necessary evil, I mean like they add so much to the game, and it. Whenever I play D2 and then whenever I play a new game, I always think, man, immunities would be good to have. It makes me appreciate the immunities that we have in Diablo 2. It makes it challenging. It makes you think. It makes you go, oh, snap, I can't just kill every single thing right now. How should I handle this? Should I get a mercenary? Should I try and dual spec? Should I call in a friend? Should I, skip past it? But new game, you just go, and that's the thing. If you want to just do that, then you can play a Hammerden. You can play a Magic Warlock. You can play, like there are builds to do that. And then there's also builds like Vengeance Paladin that aren't as strong, but it's still like nice, because you don't have to worry about immunities. So it kind of creates this balance in that way where some builds, they're slower, but they don't have to worry about immunities because they deal so many types of damage. So the casual player generally doesn't enjoy it as much. Okay, before you get to the Countess, make sure you drop to players 1 so that she has a chance to drop more runes. Because if you're on players 8, she'll drop 1 rune, pretty much guaranteed. But if you're on players 1, then she could drop 2 runes, 3 runes, 4 runes. More often. So just make sure you drop to P1 before she dies. So runes and rune words. Let's go to this Diablo 2 rune words. Let's look at I just want like early game. So like max level. Sort by level required. Seems to be opposite way. So rune words that we can look at. Leaf is not for us. Stealth, like we talked about before, has some faster run walk and faster hit recovery, which is nice. And it's cheap for Tal Eth. Steel has 25% IAS. If we put that in a scimitar, that's pretty nice. Also, it adds 3 min and 3 max and 50 attack rating and open wounds, which is really nice. So I really like the idea of steel. One of the tough parts is it doesn't need an L rune, and Countess doesn't have great L rune drops. It's probably like 8% or 10% or something around there. I think it's 8%. So may take a few times of killing her to get that. Nadir is okay. It does have Cloak of Shadow charges, which is nice, but otherwise, eh. Malice is really nice for damage. You have 33 enhanced damage, 9 to max damage, 100% chance open wounds, minus target defense, and minus defense per hit, as well as some attack rating. So Malice would be pretty sweet. We could also put this into a flail, which is decently fast, and probably better than steel overall. Though, you know, steel is still really nice, of course. And those are probably just going to be the main ones we're looking at right now. Ancient's Pledge we can look at later. Spirit, you know, whatever. So I feel like we'll see kind of what we get. But I actually still think I like Malice more than steel. So that's our first consideration. So we want Ith L Eth and or Tier L and or Tal Eth, right? Just some options there. Now let's take a look at our skill point because we've hit level 13. I'm going to go ahead and put more points into Vitality right now. Though if I want to go for Malice in a flail, it'll be 41 strength and 35 dexterity. So that is something I would need to actually start considering to get there. So that might actually be a little bit. Steel would be much easier to get from a requirements point. Though I do have Levitation Mastery, so it'll be a little bit cheaper. Okay, so next point right here. Hex Purge will increase the attack rating, the magic explosion damage, and the attack speed ever so slightly, as well as duration. Whereas this is going to focus on, I can also move myself out of the way. This is going to focus on mostly a little attack rating. It does increase the cleave arc, which is nice. So I do kind of like that. Honestly, I think both could be good. I think Hex Purge is going to be a little bit better. Just because that's a really nice magic explosion damage that gets added in. But the cleave arc increasing also seems good. Let's go ahead and do Hex Purge. I think that is going to be ultimately just a little stronger to add in for our character here. And remember to actually activate. Your Hex Purge. And we can kill the bosses. And again, we'll go another point Hex Purge. We have our point in Lethargy. We can always put it down if we want. The chilled swing is real slow. So, you saw how slow it was. Thanks, Shlomo. You saw how slow it was to swing when chilled there. We cannot be frozen with this build. 100% being frozen with this build is a complete death sentence. Oh, that's real nice feeling right there. Ooh, that feels good. Wow. Y'all see that? That was really nice. There's some chill right there, so let's try and clear it out very quickly. Also, strangling gas potions help against Holy Freeze. But what this means is in Nightmare, going and getting Cannot Be Frozen will be super important. This is assuming that we don't go farm for Cannot Be Frozen off of like the Cow King or something. Because you know what the Cow King can drop? Death's Sash. You know what he can also drop? Death's Gloves. What do Death's Gloves and Death's Sash give you? 15 all res, 30 IAS, Cannot Be Frozen. One of the best low-level combination sets in the game. So that would be a really nice thing to farm. Thanks, Killer Dog, for this class. Something to consider. Really nice. Okay. So another point into Hex Purge.
They should add a galloping noise for the Amazon.
Right. I had too much fun with that. I was Frozen 2 playing Warlock and thought it was a bug. It's just a really slow attack frame. Or animation. So you just have to be prepared for that. You have to use faster weapons. You know, some classes you can use a, you know, whatever, slow War Pike or Thunder Maul. For this, you can, but it's not going to feel very good. It's just going to be rough. Let's go ahead and put points into Dexterity so we can start warming up towards that flail. And before we kill her, players 1. Tier S. Okay. Sure, why not? We don't have the exact IAS numbers yet for this. I think it's still being looked at and discovered. Ooh, 3 to min damage is kind of nice. Mana. We can hold on to that jewel for now. Maybe something for later. And we can sell what we got. And keep going. Go back to players 8. Yeah, even this is already feeling super good. Why is Magic Sender recommended on Abyss? There's not many Magic Communes. It is a optional recommendation if you want for like Wave 2 of Baal waves or something. Because some people will want it. They'll just want to go and like, you know, be able to do Baal waves. And right now, doing Baal waves with it is kind of really annoying. But if you're not doing Baal waves or a couple other tiny places, then yeah, it's not as big a deal. There's also the Unravelers in Talrash's Tombs. There's also the Yeti, or like Gargantuan Beast in, oh boy. In like some of the Act 3 areas. And now that you can terrorize entire acts, those become slightly more important. Slow-mo. Keep going into Hex Purge here. We'll go more strength now. Come here. Oh my god, you're so annoying. Hey, GG, Pika.
Can you ask the devs to think about USP Vault/Stash just for us single player enjoyers? Thanks. Loving the content.
An SP Vault. I mean, I think that's what the mods are, honestly, or will be for. There'll be the vaults there. I doubt the devs will put like a whole vault for just single player. Ooh, a decent amount. Big. Many jaw.
Impossible.
How does wielding weapons work with Warlock? We can wield a one-hand or two-handed weapon in our main hand. And this will actually, that's actually a good question. We'll go down to players 1 for a quick like note on some of that as well. Tier Tal. Okay, so we get the Tal rune. Tal is also not a bad weapon because it's triple poison. And so we can just have 225 poison damage and that'll like blast through a lot of stuff. So also decently good. Faster block rate we could actually use if we wanted. We'll go ahead and make a Tal Eth for now, just to get that faster run walk. 2 to max damage. This is where I do like going and getting like a helm. So you can actually just shop 2 open socket helms and armors right here.
Good day.
And you can just reset until you can shop it.
Good day.
A little bit of lightning res. We will keep that as well.
Good day.
Warlock should be able to use the Book of Skill. Agreed. Well, that doesn't seem right, Maxi.
Good day.
There we go. So we can shop a 2-socket helm, and we can use this for a variety of things, but we can also just jam some jewels in there and just add to our min-max and attack rating. Why not? Why not? Music toggle for terror zones. I've already asked for that. Now, once we get to level 17, the amount of experience we get down here does start to fall off. So one kind of note a lot of times is when you get to 17, you can just start pushing through. Make sure to turn on your hex. I do not know overdose. Why it's... Is it being weird? I don't know. I haven't changed anything over the past X days, so... So yeah, you can kind of, at 17, you can push towards the Countess if you would like. Additionally, you can just go forward, right? Like, having the Malice or having the Steel is nice, but we also do have a chance to get an L rune just randomly along the way. There's another Ith rune, or maybe the first Ith rune.
Good day.
Let's see. No, that's the first one. So we do just need an L, so I'm just going to take this time to go forward. I'm level 17. I feel happy. At this point, if you find an L rune already, then you're good to go. If you want to do more farming there, then you can do that. But I feel pretty happy to just continue forward with my build. I feel like we're crushing stuff pretty well.
Not enough mana.
And can do so. And you can see there at level 17, you know, the experience is just dropping off. We're kind of like over leveled now for the area. So moving forward will be a little bit better. 1 to max damage. I'll go ahead and take that.
These sisters succumbed so readily to the call of anguish.
So far, though, really nice playthrough as well. I felt like the demon playthrough was really solid. The magic playthrough felt a little too strong, but was, you know, really good, obviously. But this one's feeling solid, especially for a melee class, you know. A lot of times when you're playing the melee classes, they just feel really weak, and it's like a slog. And you're like, all right, it takes us 20 minutes to level up from 7 to 8. But so far, this is just playing really nicely. I like the little AoE cleave here. Hex Purge is just strong. Yeah, we can do the fire playthrough as well. And all of these can be used to assist you on your way. We'll go back for the hammer.
Good day.
Assist you on your way through the game and through your ladder starts. And just playing the Warlock up. So you can always have this on the side. And you can... cold enchanted. You can pause whenever I get too fast and ahead of you. You can speed it up if I'm too slow. But use this for whatever you need. Grab Malice. And keep going. The worst part about the Warlock is wanting to play every build all the time. Yeah, I kind of agree. I'm like, ooh, I want to try this build. Ooh, I want to try that build. Why not use a minion? I mean, we're a low level right now, and I could have 1 point in Goatman. We talked about that. But at this point, it would probably start like going to waste a little. We'll go more points into strength. Again, trying to get our strength to close to that 41 so we can swap into a flail later on. Sounds nice. We went up against an ice enchant? I mean cold enchant? There's cold enchants, yeah. Melee is good till chaos, and you find out how tough it really is. Yeah, I feel like this should do okay, though. Yeah, also, if we want, that's a totally good point. We can go once you hit level 8, you can just hire. You don't even have to have saved or killed Blood Raven.
Yes.
And we can just grab her a random bow.
I'll put that to good use.
And Paige can join us. I like the fire because she joins behind. And it's not a, you know, massive boost, but like she adds a little bit of damage in. We're kind of playing the tank. Now, sometimes you may realize, oh snap, Paige is getting hit. How do I give her health? You can drag a potion over her portrait, or you can just give her a potion straight up by doing shift 1, 2, 3, or 4. Nice, easy way to boost her. So a couple fun options there. Ice Enchanted was a dream. Won't say that. Three to Miasma Bolt, 1 to Demonic Mastery. Man, what a book. Not for us, but what a book. Also, of course, take note of the new tomes, books.
The shadows churn at the touch of anguish.
So, make sure to pick up those new base types. Because, hey, maybe you can find a nice one. Another level. We'll go ahead and put the points
1
to
minute
strength,
left to
and that should
find
be enough.
Terrorandi. Got the kill and the statue at the buzzer. This update is amazing.
Let's
But you
go.
forgot to tell the devs to let Barb's Hawk bosses. I think she was hiding an extra statue somewhere in there.
Of course. Get right on that. I'll get right on that. Okay, there's the waypoint. If you want to get the waypoint here, you can. Normal Andy doesn't have like crazy drops, but you can find Bloodfist, you can find Hisaris Boots, you can find Gorefoot, you can find, you know, Rixot's Keen, like some small things that can actually be useful. So ow, that is painful. So these guys are a little annoying to kill because they do run away a lot of times. But hey, maybe you can find Lanimo. It's actually funny because I really wish that this was a set instead of a unique. Death Sash would have been godly there. Instead, we ended up finding the harder to find one. Not as good. But still 5 all res. Still hard to complain.
Try make him jump like a horse.
We don't have enough attack speed or run walk yet. Maybe later we can do some horse running. Get the Grand Charm here. Oof, that Cold Enchanted is so nasty. Alright, before we go down to Andariel, we'll go to players 3. I feel like we're actually powerful enough that we can go players 3 Andariel. And that has a lot better drop chances.
Move.
Thanks, Calvin. A little bit spicy. But we got it. Very nice. And just like that, Act 1 is done. Give yourselves the clap, everybody. Nicely done there. Our gems over here. And I'm not using my gem or stash tab of the runes or anything because I already have stuff in those. And so, no passing. Everybody do it. I'm not going to let you not. So it's just like helpful to you know, do it like this, so that way somebody who doesn't have runes and gems and other materials can't just, you know, this makes it really more solo self-found. Nice ring. Dual res, basically. 65 attack rating with half freeze duration is very nice, so we'll go for there. It's actually a pretty sweet weapon. If it had repairs mod on it, it'd be really nice. But ethereal. Oops. Meant to sell those pieces. 5% ED, 3 to min, 10 attack rating. Yeah, it's okay. Could maybe put it in a shield or something. Just try and add a little bit more damage. And for life, 10% damage taken just to mana, not a big deal. Okay, so first things first, we want to upgrade to a belt. Yeah, I mean, Lanimo unfortunately just isn't really made for this character. I really wish that was Death's. And then you can also come here and shop. This is where you can get half freeze duration if you don't have it. Again, you can always reset if you want to like get more. I like finding like magic finding gloves. I find those are usually pretty solid here as well. And we can go get some potions. And we can grab a flail base as well. And this is also where I like to go ahead and usually try and like upgrade this essentially. So I like to get, you know, a 3 open socket there so then I can put in something really nice. Malice works in a two-hander, kind of wild. Malice does work in a two-hander. The biggest issue again is the attack speed. And I guess again, this is a good enough time where we can talk about that. So let's kill these guys and we'll take a second and chat about Malice and weapon speeds. So weapon speeds that you see in game are going to be like fast attack speed, right? But that's not exactly great. It's a good general guideline. But this is a much better guide. So basically you have 30 to minus 30. Some crossbows will have like minus 60 or something, I think. But basically 30 to minus 30 is your weapon speed that you're looking for, with minus 30 being the fastest and 30 being the slowest. So when you're looking at weapons, you want to compare these speeds actually here. So for instance, we can see that like a Morning Star is going to be 10, and then a Flail is going to be minus 10, right? So a Flail is actually pretty fast overall. The Scimitar is minus 20, so that's a little bit faster, which is really nice. So these are the sorts of things that you want to be really looking at when you're considering. And then here you can see like a Cutlass is minus 30, a Phase Blade is minus 30. So yeah, looking like the Epstein files in here. So, you know, you want to be on that lower side. And the problem is when you get to a lot of the two-handers, a lot of times you're going to have two-handers that are just going to be slow. They're going to be 10, they're going to be 0, they're going to be 20, whatever. And you're not going to have that minus 20 and minus 30, which just feels a lot better here. That being said, if you can get, you know, a Flamberg, a Zweihander, whatever, that's at a minus 10, and you can put something nice in it, that's still pretty good, right? Like, that's still pretty nice. There's some nice spears, Mancatcher, you know, a spear is minus 10 right there. So, like, maybe you make a spear malice, a brandy stock malice. That could be interesting. Minus 20. Yeah, and here you can see, like, you get a couple, like, minus 60 for, like, some crossbows, but everything else is pretty much within that. So, you know, I think there are some ideas there. Again, we like the flail. You know, it's nice, easy, minus 10. As opposed to like the scepter, which was the 0, so that speeds us up a little bit from there. Grand scepters are plus 10, which is just going to be too slow. But I do kind of like the idea of maybe checking out like a brandy stock. And something that you can also do is go to the IS calculator on Icy Veins. We'll just load in the Necromancer. We don't have Warlock set yet. And obviously we don't have like Cleave skill or anything. But this can also show, you know, like, okay, a brandy stock. What are the IES frames for a brandy stock on this? And this isn't going to be 100% accurate right now because, again, it's not set for the Warlock exactly. But, you know, you can see, all right, if we can get, let's say, 25 IES, then we're on 17 frames. If I have the flail, then I'm on 14 frames. So this is where it's good to also do this comparison, because a lot of times your two-handers is just going to be slower, right? And so this is actually going to be faster and a little bit better damage. So just going through, comparing all these values, again, it's a really complicated formula to like figure out what the IES for every different swing type and everything exists there. But this is why, you know, like flail is good. And flail with a steel would be really nice because it's got the 14. It's the 17 here. But with cleave, it's probably going to be a little bit slower, as we've seen. Cleave is just kind of a slower piece overall. Yeah. So, anyways, we can continue. I just wanted to talk about a little bit about all that and how it works. Also, we're in Act 2, so we can upgrade to an Act 2 mercenary now, which can be really nice because he's going to have Blessed Aim. So the Act 1 mercenary is still not bad. I mean, she has Exploding Arrow, which can be powerful and do a lot of damage. But the Act 2 mercenary is just a little bit stronger, and then has that Blessed Aim aura to help us out as well. And we'll grab an Eth Bardiche to give to him for a little added damage over there. Now we do want to find Halls of the Dead and a Waypoint out here. Also, we have leveled up to 18, actually 19. So we have a couple of skill points to spend. So here we can make some decisions for that. Let's go ahead and go to town and grab Amazon Horsey Guided playthrough. Yeah, we don't have enough. Remember, if you have good gear on your mercenary, to take it off first. I don't really, so we'll go ahead and grab Azrael. And before we give him this weapon, we have a skull over here, which has 3% lifesteal. So I'm going to go ahead and give him some lifesteal with that. Additionally, if you want, you could totally buy him like some armor and things as well. Hey, here you go, buddy. You know, a lot of times I just find something and give it to him, but something. And then here as well is 19 light red, 7 MF. I mean, those are amazing gloves. We'll probably use those through the entirety of normal, I would imagine, unless we find something sweet. So this is what I mean. You can shop some really nice gloves. You can shop some nice belts. There's some more res. You know, look to shop a little bit when you're here. It can definitely be valuable. And then you can always buy your mercenary a weapon right there. You can buy one over here. We can check out boots, more gloves. There's a 3-socket armor if we want to get something there. 2-socket armor, 2-socket shield. I kind of want the 2-socket shield and to use that jewel. I think I'm going to do that. We'll go ahead and do that for some more min damage. Oh, it has ED in min, though. Oh, how does that function again? I forget exactly. I think that's bugged. But we can also put some like diamonds in there for resistances or something if we need later on. And we'll continue to vitality. That one works. Is it just max damage that doesn't work? Or the ED only applies to the min damage added? It's such a complex, weird bug. Top build overall. I mean, hard to say. What keyboard am I using? I kind of bounce between a couple keyboards, to be honest. I have exclamation mark keyboard for high input quality. And then I have my Steel Series keyboard.
Thanks.
This is players 8. For the max damage. Wait, will that not work over here? God, it's so hard to remember. It will not work correctly. Okay. It's like the max damage and ED cannot be socketed into the same thing right now. But we have a flawed diamond, so I'll go ahead and put that in. We'll pick up 8 all res. Keep going forward. Man, 41 light res, and we're still taking so much damage here. Remember, you can gift a potion to your mercenary to help him out. We'll keep going. Oh yeah, we have skill points to spend. Alright, I gotta like actually spend these skill points instead of just talking about how I'm gonna spend them. So Psychic Ward is nice. And actually pretty solid for 1 point right now. Oh, we also have Blade Warp. Maybe we should be putting the points over there. Okay, we can talk. Let's talk. First, over in Chaos, nothing really for us here. Demon Tree, again, nothing really for us here. So, Psychic Ward gains 15 damage absorbed per level, which is really nice because we have 6 points already in Cleave. So that is a nice boost. Seal Driver would be very sick on this playthrough. Echoing Strike we're not using for this build. But Blade Warp would allow us to teleport, which could be useful for some like small jumps, right? Like it does require line of sight, which is the annoying part. But it could be useful, and eventually we will want to get into Mirrored Blades. My thought is we'll probably just respec over later when we want to get Mirrored Blades. And so right now, I'm going to put 1 point there. And I think I'll just continue putting points into Hex Purge, is my guess. Just continue boosting up that magic explosion damage. Or we could go for more points over here to increase our arc. I think I like going over here. Yeah, I mean, it's useful. Like, it has good use cases for sure. But let's go there. We'll be getting a teleport staff later on. The Cleave Purge is just a nice combination. And again, every point in Hex Purge is 10% damage per level on Cleave as well. So it is actually increasing our Cleave damage additionally. So it's just a nice combination. There's the Maggot Lair. Let's actually go to the Dry Hills and find the Halls of the Dead. Yes, Sarge. I've done a guided playthrough for that character already. That is up on YouTube.
I am overburdened.
Okay. Looks like it's on the downside. Hex Purge is it buffs your weapon. So first you get the buff of like +2 attack rating, +2 attack speed, whatever. Then whenever you hit, you can see that I'm hexing the mobs. Right? You'll see that like hex go over their heads. That means they're hexed. And so you can hex the mobs, and then the mobs will have different things that happen when they're hexed. And in this case, the hex makes them have a little explosion. So it kind of helps with this, again, AoE damage. I don't think Purge reduces their damage. No. This reduces attack rate and defense. This reduces Hex Siphon as damage reduction. Obviously, Kano. Sheesh. Guy's been playing the game for how long? Doesn't even know what the hexes do. Didn't you completely design this character on your own, Kano? Nice job balancing, nerd. You had a few of those? Oh my god, it's like all day, every day. Way to ruin the game, bro. I'll go ahead and grab the cube. And why not? Can you use other abilities on allies like enchant? You can use enchant on... Do you mean other of these abilities? No, this character doesn't have the ability to like hex another player's weapon. Nice Cinder Charm drop rates, bro.
Yo Llama, you have played this game more than anyone I can think of. Is this the best Diablo 2 has ever been? Or was like the Enigma release even cooler or something?
I mean, I would definitely argue with the stash tabs. This is the best. You could also say pre-Enigma, like 108 was also clutch time. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree, Kano. Rare Sunders are good. People are just bad at the game now. But yeah, new stash is unreal. It's so nice. Which leveling build seems the best? I mean, I think fire into magic is the like speed run, which is the best leveling, or just pure magic would also work. They're both really strong. Kano may have a little more insight. He's been doing 1 to Uber speedruns, but I'm guessing that's what it is. You play fire to Nightmare Act 4, then respec to magic. What's the speed run? Am I going all in on Friday's reset? He's not even listening, I know. Typical. Ring of Fire until 18, then respec and take Blade Warp plus Flame Wave. Slash Ring of Fire. And then Abyss Miasma with Appointed Defiler. And Consume. Yep. I mean, that seems... It's exactly how I would have mapped it. Will I make a top 3 builds, pros and cons? Yeah, I mean, I think I'll definitely write up some stuff and then I'll make a video or two as well. For like ladder starters. We'll keep going Hex Purge. Oh, I realized I never got my Psychic Ward going. No, Fangskin. You killed Andariel. So Psychic Ward's actually really nice on this character as well, with one of the big reasons being it has a stun on it. So any mob. Guess we could have given that to Andariel. It's okay. Oops. Any mob that hits us, that's melee, has a chance to be stunned there, which is really nice. And then we'll go more vitality.
Need some help?
And time to go to the Maggot Lair. And I actually think we could continue with Player's 8 in the Maggot Lair if we wanted. I might go ahead and go down to Player's 1 just to get through it a little faster. Thanks, RWC. What build do I go with hardcore? I mean, I did a guided playthrough with the Demon Summoner and I never died. I did a guided playthrough with the Magic build and I only died in Baal's throne room in hell because there were a bunch of souls and I like was kind of being aggressive. That was the only time I died. Jeez, that costs 33 mana to cast. That's so expensive. You know, this build so far has been pretty good. I feel like you can play a lot of the builds on hardcore and they're just going to be really strong.
If a Sunder Charm shouldn't be as rare as a Jar Rune, can you name an item that you think a Sunder Charm should be about as rare as?
Jar Rune. Oh, if it shouldn't be. Burr Rune. I think it definitely should at least be high rune levels. Like a Vex minimum. I think a Vex would be maybe a fair spot for it. A little bit more obtainable. But still going to take you a little bit. The thing is, you just want to make sure that people are excited when it drops. Again, Sunders right now are literally the most unexciting drop in the game. I do not even pick them up. Preemptive potion to our mercenary. Well, I pick up Jeeds, I just don't pick up Sunders. 12 faster recovery. It's okay. Look around. You never know what you're gonna find in the shop.
Hello.
And we'll save, quit. This is like a little shortcut.
Good day. Hello.
Can Magic Warlock clear Ubers? Yes. Oh, Uber Ancients, yes. Regular Ubers. Probably not. The regen was a lot. I could only clear Uber Ancients even, Maddock, by keeping him, like, trapped. And then letting, you know, like, making sure he stayed poisoned. So regular Ubers might be difficult. I'd have to look at what the magic res of all of the Ubers are. Sure, we'll go players 8, why not? They all have 50. Okay, so it's not terrible. It'd be an interesting test. If they have 75, I would say no. If they have 50, I'd say maybe. But if you have, like, are still Mephistos or whatever, the like minus magic res from that, and the sling ring, and you know, if you've got some magic res gear, then you could potentially get them down enough. The real issue again is just they have a lot of regen. So if you don't have a way to stop the regen, then Ubers just heal it all right back up. So you're going to have a way to poison them. Your mercenary is probably going to die. But a bound demon right now could probably stay alive long enough that they could, you know, it'd be tough. You cannot bind Ubers or demon them. So one thing that I also like doing players 8 down here is there's just a pretty decent chance of runes. And like we talked about before, I just can't talk today. We would love to get like a malice or something right now, you know? Oops, I put the S rune over here. So, prevent monster heal does not work on Ubers. Are Wraith Step mirrored boots worth wearing in a mirrored blade build? I mean, I think they're 100% worth wearing on a Eldritch Echoing Strike build because plus skills works a lot there. Mirrored blades. Does an extra point to mirrored blades add that much? I mean, they're still probably okay. They all have 75%. Okay, that might be tough then. You're definitely going to need all the minus magic res you can get. So I would say you're probably not going to kill them, but with the top maxed out magic, you may be able to. Darn. Oh wait, I want to check that for runes. We'll go another point to Hexpurge. One to Sigil Rancor, Hex Purge, Echoing Strike. Sell those. And let's go ahead and enable our leveling filter.
Moo.
Let's hide all the miners. Arrows and bolts. Good enough. Just a small drop. That's so nice. I think for ladder reset, we're gonna run a bunch of Warlocks, and maybe I'll do a first 99 if Kano is willing to support me in it. Reset should be at 5 p.m. PST? Kinda sucks how late it is. Oh my god. Don't forget, if you're Llama, you will fourth way the Arcane Sanctuary.
Hello.
How may I help you?
5 to energy. There's a 2-socket flail if we want to make a steel. Got more jaw runes than I first weighed. Sounds right. Does Malice work with Echoing Strike? No. The open wounds does not. I don't know if the minus defense does. So that part I don't know. But honestly, a lot of things don't work with Echoing Strike. Oh yeah, Baron, we've all done it. Yeah, it's a good pulse. It's quite good. Usually with all these ghosts and killing on P8, you find many runes in the Arcane Sanctuary. I can't make him gallop. I don't have enough faster unwalk yet. We'll go to the triangle. Remember, the order is circle, then moon, then square, then sun is straight up, then double down arrow, then triangle, and then circle over moon. Keep giving some potions to our mercenary. You can always just look right here, right? Could be right up there. Something to note. Also, if you do want to level up, Talrash's Tombs is a great place to pick up a couple extra levels, so something else to jot down. Astrians, let's go. Let's go, baby. Nope, it's right over here. Ow, ow. Go ahead and Put the staff in the orifice. And we will go back. Garbage, garbage. That is a nice ring. Holy cow. What? That's insane. 74 resistance. A level 13 4-point ring. I mean, honestly, that's probably worth a good amount. I'd have to like check with some low-level duelers, but I feel like a low-level dueler would love that ring. Alright, I'm going to actually swap this. I want to keep the half freeze duration that I have. So we'll hold this here. Dude, that's an insane ring.
Moo.
Let's ask Cooley. He may have some knowledge. No life or stats. It's level 13 required. There's gotta be a value there. Jesus, that's insane. I know I'm offline. I wouldn't actually be able to sell it, but... Okay, we'll continue with Hex Purge. We'll go down to players 1. And we will get thawing potions. Again, a couple for our mercenary.
Thanks.
A couple for ourselves.
Thanks.
And we can go fight Duriel. Don't forget we have our sigil as well to slow him down. And why did we do the thawing potions? Well, it increases our resistances by 50% for 30 seconds every thawing potion we drink. So, additionally, we have our psychic ward. Easy. Do I want the knockback? Probably not. The slowest target is interesting. Cruising. Let's go ahead and go more vitality.
Damn it.
And we can continue through. We can check for a 3 socket. I'll go ahead and get 3 to max damage. Why not? SOJ is tough to beat for a caster. Yeah, but I'm saying for like level 18 duels.
Greetings.
Lethargy charges. That's kind of fun.
Good to see you.
You've got 9, 18, 30, probably like 50, I think. And then high level. It's not super popular, but it is a thing. Trilderos, thank you very much for the Prime sub, by the way, and reminding everybody they may have a Twitch Prime sub available to use. They can use it here, they can use it somewhere else. They just got to make sure to use it. Otherwise, they're giving it away to Daddy Bezos, baby. Who will buy another yate and strip away more of your righties.
I've seen fools fall
Moo.
I'm sure someone in that back
New rap incoming. Brett, thank you very much. Solid logic. See you both.
Moo.
Gordy. Look at all those primers. Unsure if you have a prime? Hover over the screen. It should tell you.
Moo.
Or you can press subscribe and look down below.
Moo.
Thank you, Wiro, Pansky, and Sir PogChamp.
Moo.
Go ahead and grab a waypoint.
Moo.
Lucky Blast and do Dustains.
Moo.
It's a prime chain. Prime train. Hard to say. I can't speak at all today. Now I am on Players 1, and the main reason for this is I actually want to be... I guess I'll go back, since I have that waypoint. I actually want to be sub-level 24 for this next part, which is the shopping part of the run. So what I want to do is find a staff that has teleport charges. You can see this one has enchant charges, but I would like one with teleport charges. So I will look at, if I'm sub-level 24, all the staves that are required level 24, which are red, because teleport charges are level 24 required. And then we can quit and come back in and try again. I just have to look at the red staffs. I don't have to look at the other ones. Lord Desace is undead, not a demon. Now, the cheapest this will cost is like 16,000. The most expensive this will be is hundreds of thousands. If you find one that's like 500,000 or something and you don't want to share stash gold over, then you'll just have to keep trying. If you do want to share some stash gold over, then you can just do so. But one thing you can do to make it a little cheaper on yourself is you can buy wands, you can buy scepters, you can just get like cheap things that can roll plus the skills. Wands, scepters, staffs, even blue daggers. So we can go ahead and shop for those while we're looking here. So I'm just looking for things that are like 2100 or whatever. And you can take this back to your cube. Put it in your cube with 3 chip gems and roll it. And now I take something that costs a couple grand and then I can go sell it for more than that. It's a money hack. And sometimes you'll roll it and it'll be a dud. And if that happens, you just roll it again. So that's a nice way to make some money, and then we can, of course, sell those for cash later. That won't work on books. It works on things that are weapons. However, If you want to re-roll a book, you go a spiked club, 2 skulls of any kind, don't have to be chipped, and the book, and that'll re-roll the book. So there are ways to roll your books as well. Now, this may take a minute, this may take 5 minutes, but I promise it is worth it. This will save you a lot of time in the long run having a teleport charges staff. Remember, it's charges, not +2 teleport. Thank you, Primo.
Good day.
So we'll shop a little bit of time, and then I might just gift one over from another character just for the sake of this is a guided playthrough, but that is the general idea of how it goes and what you're looking for. We'll do 3 more, and then we'll just do that.
Good day.
What was your question, Dimmy? Chain lightning. I'm playing to respec to this build, level 72. It would be the target weapon, so I don't end up stuck in Act 4. I mean, honestly, I think there's a lot of, like, weapons that you could use.
Good day.
At level 72, assuming you mean, like, rune words. I mean, a good honor would be decent. An obedience could be really powerful. A little slow, but really powerful. You currently cannot complete the rune word grails. They have to fix that. So here's what it looks like. Do one last check. Oh, look at that. We found one.
Good day.
Perfect. So you can find it, and then that'll be ready for level 24. And now we can go up to players 8, and we can go for level 24. It's a guided playthrough. It's not supposed to be people spending 15 minutes watching me shop. But I wanted to at least show the experience of what it'll be like. And then just know it may take a little longer, but it also could be shorter. If you're already level 24, then you'll just have to look at all the staffs that are there. So it'll just take a little bit longer. But just remember, once you find one on one of your characters, you can just share it across to all your characters in the future if you want.
Move.
Thank you, Renzone. Yeah, it will increase his frost damage a little bit. Yeah, so of teleportation or whatever is the affix. They're the suffix. So you can always just look for that. If you don't want to look down at the charges part. Should be Flare Jungle here, I think. Yep. And Flare Jungle is also a great spot for leveling. We didn't get great spawns here because we have the birds. But if you can get a bunch of the flares, it can be really nice. So I'd actually love to find the waypoint. And then reset this. No waypoint here, nope. And try and get like a really good flare jungle setup. Okay, not too bad. There are soul killers. So the birds are annoying, but the soul killers are nice. These are really your juicy experience. Level 24 does introduce Eldritch Blast, which we can take a look at here. Let's go to town.
Good to see you.
Does have a 42-second duration. The magic damage pulse isn't that good, but it has a lifesteal mana steal, which is okay. I'm 50-50 on it. The thing is, it is still a boost here. We are going to want it anyways, but adding more to the purge does seem better. Let's go ahead and we'll put a point in it and feel it out. Could be just like a little minor help, you know. I could also equip Bone Snap if I had one lying around. True. That would be fun. This is players 8. No, it's doing great. We'll go for the Jid bin here. Special about Bone Snap. It's just huge damage.
What a relic. Almost
Like
like
absolutely massive. This AoE can go to a full 360 arc by more points in Cleave. Wow. It's kind of nice. Trash, 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 trash. Oh man, I don't love losing the half restoration, but I do like 70 attack rating with strength, dex, mana to kill. 6 cold res we will keep. I'll keep that for, again, until we figure out our situation with cannot be frozen or more half freeze duration somewhere else. We'll hold it there. And keep rolling. And we'll continue with Vitality. We've got decent levels here, which helps continue our chance to hit. What a great playthrough as well. I mean, we just nailed it on this character for playthroughs. This isn't OP by any means, but it's a good experience. Just wow. Not everything's perfect, but good playthrough. Love to see the Barb play through this smooth. No chance. Careful of fire damage, by the way. Even with 34 fire res, we're still getting knocked down pretty well from these guys here, so you just really have to be careful with it. We also have a Rowrun, which we totally could put into our helm. If we had a 2-socket helm, we could put Rowruns in there for additional fire res. I'm going to continue with Hex Purge. Tell us what the differences are being a Warlock in each different class. What? I'm confused. Forgot we had that telestaff. Can I expect patch notes? No clue. I would hope so. 1 to war cries. Darn. But no clue overall. Let's go repair our weapon before it breaks. I'm really sad we never found an Elrune to make Malice. I mean, it's not a huge deal. This has been strong enough that it's been fine. But I do wish we had gotten Malice. Worldstone shards drop just from any unique or champion. In hell. Terrorize or none. Annoying. Now, remember, these are super chests right here, and right here. So they have decent chances of runes, gems, jewels, jewelry, gold, just all sorts of nice things. So, lots of items. So if you ever want to spend some time farming, you can always run around and just pop these and just get a waypoint right nearby. Now in normal, it's not like a massive thing, you know, but you can still get some like okay stuff. But in Nightmare, you can start definitely getting better, and then Hell, it's worth farming them. Yeah, for sure, Vessel. And would love a waypoint out here as well. This is also a great place to level up on Battle Maid Serena. And she is in the Kuras Bazaar in the temple facing towards the bottom left. So we can run around, and here you go. Here's the temple facing towards the bottom left. Rhyme can be made in the Warlock's books, yes, so if we find a nice book, we can make it in that. Otherwise, we can just make it in a bone shield. Good experience here. Also, rare breastplate. We can go ahead and give that to our mercenary. And Lemesson's Tome.
Good day.
Got a Vex in your Demon Warlock. Ho to the best bet. Oh yeah, get them plus to skills. Okay, so we've already turned then to the Golden Bird, the Gate figurine. So let's go ahead and just talk to Alcor. Get our stats for vitality. Drink our potion for life.
Greetings.
Put some things away. And we can continue on. Cannot re-roll a book with sockets now. Health bars over mobs like in PoE. I want to say you can do that in console, but I don't know if you can do that not console. And then again, like I said, if you want, you can get a waypoint out here so you can run Battle Maid Serena over and over again. Just an option. We're a high enough level, we're already 25, that we don't really need to do that, so we're just going to move forward. But that is something that you could think about. CPL, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Remember, we have the Telly staff as well. And we'll go another point Hex Purge. Might as well grab Resist Fire. And more Vitality. Yeah, Warlock does have a class set. just head to the Travincal. Honestly, I think we could do the Travincal on Player's 8 if we wanted. I feel like we're actually strong enough. But for the sake of chilling it out, we don't need to do it on Player's 8. We'll drop down to Player's 1. Skyfall MN, thank you very much for the Prime sub. Mwah.
Welcome to the Warlock channel on Twitch, where we warlock while you're warlocking so you can warlock while you warlock.
Pretty much. Pretty much. We actually don't need to defeat all of them. Your mercenary does have a decent chance to die here. Unfortunately. And you can see I'm still just using this like cheap flail, so honestly I almost feel like this character is a little too good being able to get away with it just using a weak flail, but kind of the power here of Hex Purge, it's just really nice. So our goal is to really kind of like Holy Fire, I suppose. Our goal is to hit more often rather than hit harder. Now, a harder hit would also be good, right? Like
Warlock. Huh? What is it good for? Absolutely everything.
it's true. You know, so like Holy Fire, if you swing with a really slow weapon, it's like fine, but the idea is Holy Fire's skill itself adds so much damage that you just want to swing faster to get more out of that. And that's kind of the same thing here. The Hex Purge is just really nice. We'll continue Players 1 over 4. That is my Eldritch Blast pulsing out and my Psychic Ward shield that I have on. Let's go fight Mr. Mephisto. Blast doesn't seem like it's doing a ton. Set up a TP for safety. It's like a tiny bit. Definitely does more in like the later game.
Would destroy hatred in its wings.
And just like that, Act 3 is done. Show Yoda with the Prime. Clap for you all. Ooh, that's nice for a mercenary. Or for us, honestly. Whenever you can get a helm that rolls rare with 2 sockets, it's just like, oh, that's just really good. We'll go ahead and give him this. Yeah, I might just use that for myself. Like, this is kind of, you know, worn out its use. And with this, we could put like a Row Rune in there. We could get a perfect ruby from the forge potentially, or we could just put this ruby in there. I'll actually give this to my mercenary for a little bit of added damage. Could put some topaz in there for magic find. Two to max damage. Hex Purge, Blood Boil, Summon Goatman. I mean, 1 to Hex Purge is nice. We can look up the IS calculator and look at a Chris. Chris is minus 20. Honestly, with good frames. I think I will use it. With 10 IS on it as well. That should speed us up a little bit. So we need a little bit more dexterity for that. So we'll hold on to it. And we'll go ahead and... go here. Hex Blast. Wait, what? Eldritch Blast? We also get gauntlets, which is nice. If we can get one more Saigon's piece, the gauntlet bonus is 30 IAS, which would be really good for this build. So now I would really love to get Saigon's helm for a big attack rating boost, Saigon's boots for the, sort of Saigon's belt, like, honestly, anything. 30 IAS would be a big boost for us. Now we will look for Isual out here. We love plus to skills. Yeah, 30 IAS would move us up probably like 3 or 4 frames. Probably 4. That'd be a really nice increase. Make sure your Hex doesn't fall off. Make sure your mercenary gets health potions to stay alive. I heard in the new season all classes are disabled except for Warlock. I mean, essentially. Who's going to play another class? Battery sets at 5 p.m. PST. Keep our sigil up just to slow them down a little bit. Do I recommend a loot filter during leveling? So I have a very generic loot filter that I've established. It could probably use a little bit more work, but it's so hard because so many things you want to see for, like, oh, gold, right? And that's kind of the tough part. Like, is a blue buckler actually good during leveling? No. Do you pretty much immediately want to turn it off? Yes. Is it really nice gold in the blood Moor when I first start the game? Also yes. What I may end up doing is making a loot filter that you turn on every act as you go through the acts. So it's just act 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, normal, nightmare, hell, and basically you just go and enable like each one. So you start at the base and then you enable each one of those as you continue.
Moo.
Marablu, thank you. But even that doesn't fully work. Oh boy. God, that's annoying. I'll have to have multiple sections for every one. It's like, if I want to disable magic bucklers, then I have to have my own magic filter. Oh boy. It's getting more and more complicated. Yeah, I wish that they had... That's the one thing these loot filters are missing is, like, a level. Based on my level, do X, Y, Z. I can't do that right now.
Hail to you, champion.
Pick up a couple more health pots. Yeah, it's just it would have so many rules is the thing. Oops. Towel. True that, Dr. Mike's. So we'll go ahead and try and pick up our forge. See what we come across. And, oh no, I don't have Mephisto Soulstone. What am I supposed to do? I left it in Act 3. Well, I'm glad you asked. Random person watching.
No.
I just go talk to Kane and he will give me a Soulstone. Assuming there is not one lying on the ground already here. Mariblu and Diromara, thank you. Now we can smack it. And we get an Ethrun, nothing too crazy. We do pick up a perfect diamond, so that could be like, you know, for a shield later on if we find a different source of Can't Be Frozen. A couple emeralds. Whatever. Hey, Crackles. You never have to apologize for not being around. You can come watch as much or as little of the channel as you want. Always happy to have you here when you are here. Well, unless you're a mod. Then you have your contractual obligations, of course. Okay, so we'll move into the Chaos Sanctuary. You can, of course, just tele your way in very quickly, or you can slow push your way in. Either way totally works. Mod signed a contract. It's an unwritten contract, but it holds. In the Court of Llama, it will hold up. Now, the Chaos Sanctuary is a tough spot, just in general overall. So it is one of the zones that I recommend spending a little time killing. Like, you want to have safe spaces, basically, right? Go ahead and move these over here. So by that I mean you want to have a place that you can retreat to. Not a place to share your feelings. But also if you want to share your feelings, that is okay too. But you want to have places that you can kind of back up into and drag some monsters. And our fire res is a little weak, so we do have to be careful here, of course. This is also where that Rowrun in our helm would be useful if I had put it there. But I feel decent moving forward as such. Preparation. Get up our psychic ward. There we go. One more. And we're doing this all on players 1 here because chaos on players 8 is pretty brutal for melee. Wow, that damage
I am overburdened.
chonked through.
Not even death can save you from me.
Not enough mana.
Moo.
So having some thawing potions can be really useful for Diablo. And your sigil can also just do a lot as well to help out. So we'll go ahead and actually pick up a few more of those. Now the biggest thing to watch out for is his lightning attack. Right there, as it does a lot of damage. And he will pick up speed on it, so it's one of those things where it's not going to be like he'll be pretty slow through a lot of his other animations, and then all of a sudden he'll just be lightning your face. And he'll be moving really quickly, and it's because casting is not affected by the slow there.
Not enough mana.
Come on. It'd be a little tough. Also, we don't have any, like, if we had Malice, this fight would be over. If we had Steel, this fight would be over. You know, just something else. Our weapon is a little weak and is not helping for the boss fights. That is for sure. Any crushing blow would do a ton for us right now. Just kind of dealing with what we got.
Me too.
You know how it is. Perfect. We'll go more points into dexterity to work towards that Chris. Goatman does have crushing blow, yes. Small chance, but... Act 4 complete. Let's move on to Act 5. Now, that is just better. Also, dual life and mana leech. Wow, 7/7 with 1 cold damage. Yeah, I kind of like that. We have Angelics, not a big deal for us. Energy. It's whatever. I mean, Angelics Raiments with Angelics Ring, I guess, would be nice, huh? Go ahead and pick all those things, max those. We've got some skill points to spend from Isual. Yeah, let's just keep purging it. Feels like Hex Purge is just nice, and again, we get a nice damage boost as well from it, so. Plus the duration is up to 5 minutes now, which is nice.
Let us begin.
Now, if you are not level 25, you will stop getting experience at the end of this area, the Bloody Foothills. When you enter the Frigid Highlands, you'll no longer be gaining experience. You'll need to go back to Act 3, Flare Jungle, Battle Maid Serena, whatever, and do some leveling there. It's just the way Diablo 2 is built. You have to level up to level 25 before the cap falls off and you can start gaining experience. So, just know that. Yeah, I think a lot of them are good for Warlock here. Yes, Dutton, if you want to play the latter. The gap was for testing. Because the character needed some testing. There were some bugs. The Chronicle had a big bug that people discovered, so. Another Rao rune, very nice.
A demonic slave master herding demons.
And we'll go up to players 8. And this is, again, a really good show of a place where you can pick up a ton of easy experience. So if you want to do some leveling once you've hit 25, this is a fantastic place to do so. Eldritch and minions on players 8. And you can do this to level 27, to level 30, to level 35 if you want. Actually, hold on. What's the weapon speed on a Poignard? 4 mana per kill is kind of nice. It's the same. It does have decent damage. $44,000. Let's go ahead and do it. See how it feels. Oh yeah, so fast. I mean, you could still consider. Well,
Sorry
we'll
if I missed this, but will Void be considered this for hammered in over Hoto?
Probably yes. One less skill, but a lot of extra boost. I know Purge doesn't use weapon damage, but I still have weapon damage that is just being applied anyways. On to combat skills, bonus attack rating. We'll give it to our mercenary for the boneless attack rating.
Does weapon range matter for Cleave?
Oops, that needs to go over here. I would assume yes. Right? One has to assume that weapon range does matter, but I want to swing faster more than anything. Okay. So level 28. Let's go take a look. It does have 10 IAS on it. So if I'm getting 26 attack speed right now, that could maybe get me one more frame and one more to Hex Purge. My cleave damage is 225%, so there is a little bit of a physical component here, but I'm going to go ahead and spend the points, and we will shift into using the rune song right now. Yeah, we did not save it, that's right. So much smoother than you expected. This is greatly smooth. Like I say, level 28 I feel pretty comfortable advancing because this has been pretty smooth, and so I feel like we can go do leveling in Nightmare Towers and it'll be good. Come here, buddy. Hello, Ippy. Now, saving the barbs is good. Do I do hardcore runs? Yeah. These are guided playthroughs, so I'm generally not doing hardcore for, like, the guide playthroughs exactly, but I've done hardcore guided playthroughs, and you can use these as hardcore guided playthroughs, too. Just move a little slower. I forgot to save the previous barbs. We can go back and save them in a little bit. Moo. Mercenary. Thanks, Dark Psycho. How is Void going to be better over Hodo? The magic damage on it? Yeah. We did a magic warlock guided playthrough, yes. Okay, we'll get this waypoint and let's go save the rest of the barbs. Whoa, 1 to warlock skills. Okay. Now, the problem is a Dirk is slow. So I don't love that. It also has life tap charges on it. I'm going to keep it just for the life tap charges. Just in case we want to use some life tap charges in the future, that could actually be kind of nice. Okay. Yeah, let's go save all the Barbies. I get tired of people asking me the same question over and over again. You know, I was at the store the other day. Oh, no. I was at the hockey rink. Sorry, I was thinking about the store as well. I was at the hockey rink the other day. And last night, I played hockey. And I was looking for a place to fill my water up. And they just like didn't have a good place to fill it. And so I went to the front desk and I was like, is there nowhere to fill your water up there? Or like anywhere in the back? And she laughed and was like, no, the only place to fill it is right up front. And I thought, I wonder if she gets tired of answering the same question over and over again.
At your service.
And I thought, every job kind of has the same questions that they have to answer over and over again. Patch notes when? We're all waiting. So, it's just part of any job.
I can't.
Jobs just be like that. Every job just has the things that like are the same thing no matter what over and over again, right? Every job has a task that you just constantly do over and over and over again, and there's constant common questions, and there's constant, Thanks for nerfing Andy. You're welcome. Okay, so we'll go back and we'll save Anya as well, because we want those 10 all-res. And you can't blame anybody, She can't be like, stop asking me where the water is. It's like, it's the first time I'm asking her where to fill my water up. Just like when a new viewer comes in and they ask the same question that 1,000 people have already asked. Will there be ladder patch notes? Is this gonna... It's their first time asking, and it's a valid question. It's just everybody wants to know the same things. When is Blizzard putting Shaman in D2R? I mean, you can resurrect a Shaman.
Not enough mana.
That count?
Mr. Llama, what's your
Cold
favorite
Enchanted,
skill?
no thanks.
What's your favorite class? Why does your name say SC at the end? Why did you pick llamas to name yourself after?
Yep.
Why does chat say you're a proven liar?
No. I
You
wouldn't
have
say
the best
people say that.
attitude. Always enjoy the streams.
Thanks, Nikki. Okay, so right now anything that freezes us is pretty much a no-go. We're just going to kind of move forward from it. We're also 28.5, which is, a decent enough level. I was actually going to ask what his favorite class is. I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite class. I like a lot of classes for a lot of different reasons. Kind of varies. It's not the druid. OG graphics have, you know, I miss OG graphics here and there. Not that I use them in D2R, but I do miss the color palette of the OG graphics. That's all fine and dandy there. I actually wonder if I like that other dagger, the Poignard, better. The damage on it was really nice, actually. Okay, now for ancients, if they are hitting me with cold, then I will reset. I'm also going to go ahead and get a few more health potions. Should have enough mana.
Salutations.
And by reset, I mean I can just open a town portal. Exclamation mark, Discord isn't working. Who knows? I can also look to separate them, or an easier thing I can do is just bring them down here and fight them down here. And when you fight them like this and Talik is facing directly towards you, perpendicular to the edge here, he is not going to whirlwind you, because he would whirlwind off the edge. So this is a way to make it easier. Pretty decent damage. Oh my god, I'm on player's 8. Amazing damage, actually. Wow. Whoopsie doodles. Well, there you go. Strong enough for player's 8 ancients. Now, Maddock will be a pain. Honestly, I'm just going to reset. I actually think it'll be faster to reset. That's funny. There we go. Yeah, we were P8ing the ancients. No, he's got to be careful with players 8. Cool. Oh man, we got stuck on the statue. No reason to P8 ancients. They do not give you any additional experience.
Yesterday I spotted an albino Dalmatian.
And more vitality.
It was the least I could do for him.
Oh, you spotted. Oh, that's cute. It's cute.
Llama, I know this is just normal difficulty, but on Hell Maddock is kind of easy. Just have all ancients chase you, but only look at Maddock to avoid his axes. If you have enough faster casting, you can cast 2 hammers before running off and cast again quickly. Yep, ancients go down pretty easy, like 2 minutes.
2 minutes or something. Okay, Waypoint can always be nice to get right here. Not 100% necessary, but if you want to do some Baal waves, it can be helpful. I feel like this character is going to be the best Bailer, mostly because you're going to have Decrepify from Baal, plus the cold from Wave 2. We don't know if it can't be frozen yet. Like, you know, there's just some difficulty coming with it. So I'd rather be farming in some other spots personally. But it should be okay. I'm gonna do 2 up. Not. Well, the main thing here is really we just want to get through to Nightmare. If we can get to Nightmare, if we can get to the Countess and get Shale S, then we can make a Rhyme Shield. And that will give us Canopy Frozen. Or like we talked about before, if you want to spend a little time, you could do a bunch of cow runs and just kill the Cow King over and over again. He has a great chance of dropping Death Sash or Cannot Be Frozen there. So that could also be really useful. And then you could go the Death Sash plus Gloves combination to really, you know, get everything amazing. But Llama's Filterness caster belt crafting base is not showing up. Did I hide shark skin belts? I thought magic shark skin belts aren't hidden on it, but I can look. Is exclamation mark Discord just broken everywhere? No, it's right there. Somehow, nope. Okay, looks like it's working. So we will be slowed here. It's not going to be the most fun, but it's all right. Now for wave 2, what we're going to want to do is actually drag Sharkskin Belt is hidden. Okay, I need to unhide it. We want to actually drag all of the cold enchanters here down and away out of respawn range. Oh my god, why is everybody dragging? That's annoying. Now we really gotta drag them away. I really just want to get them down here so they're not going to get revived. Now we can fight these Unravelers without having to deal with that. Easy. 3 to bind demon. That is actually really nice. It is a Dirk, which I don't like, but a Bound Demon could be super sick. Especially if you want to bind Lister or something. So I'm actually going to go back really fast. I'm going to hit level 30. I'm going to have to take my teleport off, though. Oh my god. It's such a, like... Okay. We have to do it. It's begging us to bind Lister the Tormentor. Absolutely begging us. So keep up with Hex Purge and go for Vitality. Aw, no cursed. There we go.
Let's go.
Look, I attack a little bit slower, but Lister the Tormentor is my pet now. Right? Oh god. Could try and get a Fanaticism Mephisto as well. That would be really nice. God, they're such tanks. Alright, that's fine. We'll leave him alone. Come on, Lister. You and me, buddy. He's actually not that good at this, like, first level without any of the other benefits of anything. Additionally, having some stuff here helps. Make sure to keep slowing up Mr. Baal. Because this sigil will actually slow him enough that he's not going to be able to get most of his animations off. No big one. You know, we could also use this in a really weird way. If we just build towards Consume, we don't have to build towards Bind Demon. We could use this to bind a demon, consume said demon, then take this off and switch out of it. Kind of a fun combination. I mean, Baal is just notorious for having terrible frames on his animation, so a Necromancer can also, with his Clay Golem and Decrepify and stuff, completely lock him out. Like, he just has really long animations. Or if you get like Kelpie Snare and stuff on a mercenary. There's so many. Yep. Either way, voila! Normal is done. Nice and easy. Look at that. Let's do a quick character review. Let's look at what we got. It's okay. I mean, nice damage on that. 10 dexterity, half freeze duration with 40 to mana. And replenish life 5. Not quite good enough.
Good afternoon.
It's not terrible either.
I was wondering if you could give me good advice on how to break difficult news to my dad, or know of a video that I can watch to do that.
Don't think I can. Okay, gear-wise, we're looking right now. We just have this for the Bind Demon. This is kind of our main weapon that we're swinging with, though. Really just going for the IAS to get the procs over. This for our helm. Still haven't fully decided what we want. Again, Ral totally works. Ral Orc could be good. Ruby, Topaz, whatever, right? I should probably just put something into it. Maybe those 2 rubies right now, just to have something there, so then I can get a lore helm or something later. Shield, very basic, generic. Just some res and damage from some stuff. Stealth right here. Lightning res and magic find. Half freeze duration, attack rating, which has been actually really nice to have with the half freeze duration. Life and lightning res. This insane ring that we found. I don't know. Don't ask me, man. And then some just 5 fire res boots. Definitely want to get some faster run walk boots or something nice to upgrade that. No, Lister, I forgot. Teleport on swap. Poor Lister. Yeah. Teleport and swap. Stats and skills look as such. Mostly going into Hex Purge. Again, Cleave does get 10% damage per Hex Purge, which is nice. But then, of course, Hex Purge just has a nice AoE explosion piece to it. I don't think this is the only way to play this. I think you actually could run more points into Cleave as well. And kind of play a little bit heavier on the physical. Especially if you were playing with... I mean, I guess it depends how much damage you gain from the boost. I was going to say, if you put like a... You could play more of a physical weapon, though, right? So you can kind of play like a fast cleave or a slow cleave. If you play a slow cleave, then you're just going to use a big ol' heavy weapon. And I think it would actually still be pretty good. But the fast cleave with the Hex Purge is also pretty nice. So, yeah. That's how we're ending up. Heading into Nightmare, level 30. GG. And we'll keep going there. Peace.